as we start to kind of turn the corner, man, I mean, it was very important for us to talk about that piece of your life because it is a part of the journey, and it was, I you know, it's kind of ironic how it kind of tied into your career as well. I thought, um, even though it's like not about the business of the career at all, but it just kind of tied into it. I mean, all things in divine order. It's like, wow. But talk to me like now. I kind of get a sense of what your motivation is and where you are. Where's Lincoln Baringer at now? Like, what's the focus and what's the evolution of you as an entrepreneur, as you as a business person, and with Rhinofin marketing? Where are you at now? What are you helping folks with now?
Yep. Well, Rod, I am a professional rock star now, so I finally get to fulfill my dreams out on that. No, so I still do a little bit of that. I wish that was the end of the story here, end of the podcast, but it's not. But I still do play out every once in a while. We found a value add back in 2021. A dear friend of mine gave me a call. And even though I had a huge book of not just insurance, but insurance clients, but more importantly, influential individuals throughout the nation, I had a call that said, hey, Lincoln, I know that you own a company and also you have some influence throughout the country. Our CPA firm's trying to go national right now with what's called the Employee Retention Tax Credit. And he didn't say that. He said ERC. And I said, Damon, I don't even know what ERC stands for. So I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea anything about this. But I surround myself with smarter people other than myself, which, by the way, that's another key to my success. If anybody wants to hear a key to your success, surround yourself with people smarter than you.
Absolutely.
It's such a key thing. Henry Ford was up on a stand in a courtroom and getting drilled by an attorney. And finally, Henry Ford, who happened to be quite a humble man, by the way, if you know his story, finally got a little bit perturbed by this attorney drilling him. And he goes, I don't need to know the answer to your question. I can press a button and make sure that I have somebody that has an answer to that question that you have. I don't need to know that about my industry because I have people that have the answer to that question that knows it much better than you do. And that is a huge philosophy. So if you go to the Bible, it's King Solomon, right? You got to seek wisdom. So that's what I did, Rod, is that I went and I sought wisdom from my CPA team, my attorney team, which even though I'm in Virginia, they're still up in Ohio. I now have a team in Virginia as well. But I asked them about this. The very first thing my CPA said about this employee retention tax credit is that not many people are going to qualify. They had to show a huge decrease in what's called revenue from 2020 and 2021 versus 20. Anyways, long and short, the reason I tell this piece of the story is it's important. He called me back 7 days later with my attorney on the line and said, Lincoln, I've known you for 25 years now, and you finally got something right. And you got to understand, Ed Scajano is 80 years old. He's been a CPA since Moby Dick's been a guppy. I'm telling you, he's been doing it a long time. And he said, you actually can help quite a few people out. Mm. So I started to do this as a value add. And then I saw that, number one, people needed educated in another sector. And what ended up happening was that the government, I found out, was going to do whatever they wanted to with this money that was in this bucket. And that if I didn't educate all of America or as many business owners that I could get to, that they could take advantage of this, not everybody's going to qualify, by the way, but those that should at least find out if you qualify or not. That's when it became a passion, because the government puts funds into things that you don't believe in, that I don't believe in, that your listeners don't believe in. And I knew that our churches, that our ministries, that the philanthropic organizations, the associations, and even the for-profit companies, if we could put this money back in our communities, that would be a really noble thing.
Absolutely.
not to bring up a child's name of yours, but what a great name. Very noble thing. Long and the short is that it really took off. And then I came to a crossroads of having to focus in on making even a bigger impact on this planet than what I was doing. What a tough thing. And for the listeners, and I hope they grasp this, it is the hardest thing to go from good to great. And I'm stealing a title of the book. I forget who wrote that book, but that's the predicament I was in. I was in a really good position, and then you want to go to great. You know, it's a tough one, but I will tell you that people get comfortable, and the most vulnerable spot that any entrepreneur will ever be in is when they get comfortable. It's the most vulnerable spot. So I had to give up really good. I didn't even call it great, by the way. I had to give up great to go to, let's try to change a bunch of people's lives for the positive. And that's where I'm at. The question was, where am I at now? However, obviously, you know me. We've already got a model in place. So a company that I opened up a couple of years ago is called Rhinofin Consulting. You mentioned that at the very introduction of this call. What we do is we're not 3M. We're kind of like 3M. They don't make the product, they make it better. We make small, mid, and large size businesses better, where we offer insurance products and a lot of ideas that they've not seen before better. We've got thousands and thousands of clients. We're helping them out in so many different ways, and we're a force right now. And I would be remiss to say that I'm that smart, Rod, to create all this. I do give all glory up, man. I give all glory up, because it has been an incredible ride. And even when it went from great to really, really great, that's when it doesn't matter how great it gets. It's really about impacting human beings. And in the industry that you guys are in, I'm right back in the insurance industry. I mean, it is the wealth management piece of it. And whenever you know that you're making a huge impact, man, it feels so darn good. It just does.
Absolutely, man. It's a mission over money focus, you know, and being focused on the mission. I mean, the money's going to come. And I think that, you know, what you shared from early in your career, that's something that I've carried, you know, throughout my time in this industry, you know, not even really thinking about, you know, the money, but just thinking about, you know, how to add value. And I've seen that return. So what you're saying is 100% correct. Last question that I have for you. You kind of gave some guidance to you gave some guidance, you know, earlier to someone who is new or who's coming into the industry. What's the goal now? You know, what's the end goal? What's the big vision for Lincoln Baringer?
You know, we have talked about a few things, and we've talked about exponential growth and so many different items. I had a conversation earlier today, and really it is a mindset. You know, somebody that makes 100,000 didn't stop at 50. Somebody that makes 250 didn't stop at 100. Somebody that makes 500 didn't stop at 250. Somebody that makes $1 million didn't stop at 500. Somebody that makes 3 million didn't stop at 500 or $1 million, right? My goal is to help people understand that really that there is no limit to where you're currently at. Doesn't matter what situation you're in, doesn't matter your background. And I wasn't going to say the F word. I was going to say frickin', but I didn't think that'd be proper for a podcast. But it doesn't matter about your background. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. What does matter is mindset. Out here in my office, I've got this sign about mindset, so that and I don't like the word employee, even though they are of mine. We work together. We all work together as one family, not a team. We work together as a family. And mindset means that you're going to conquer every little obstacle that comes in front of you. It's why my company is called Rhino Financial. and Rhinofin Consulting. Both of my companies have to do with the rhino, and I'm going to get into it, Rod. You already know.
Let's go for it. Let's go. Let's go. I was hoping you would explain the rhino. Let's go.
I'm going to explain it. The rhino has 5 characteristics. And you know what? I used to talk about this just to get people pumped up, and excited and motivated at the end of a meeting. But if you actually kind of sit back and you're still and you actually accept what it is and you think about each aspect, man, it can impact your career. It can impact your life. Number 1 is pound for pound. A rhino is the strongest mammal on this planet, and people will follow confidence. Think about the people that you respect, that the listeners respect. You're listening right now. Think about who you respect. They're not weak. They're not unconfident. They're not unsure about themselves. They are confident. They are strong. You got to be very, very strong. You got to be strong. You want to succeed, you got to be strong. Number 2 is that rhinos are notoriously known for the big horn, right? Even when things look great, there will be obstacles. And I'm smiling because I love obstacles. If I have a superpower, give me an obstacle. I want to figure out how to blast through it, because you know what? We're rhinos. You got to be able to blast through any obstacle that's there. And every obstacle can be blasted through. Number 3, very important too, is that they have very thick skin. Even if you don't know much about like animal life, you know that rhinos have really thick skin. This is kind of a culture thing now, Rod, when I talk about it, because we live in a different society today than when I grew up. I mean, all this participatory awards and yada, yada. And I'm not saying I don't want to get into all that. But when you get into the real world, you got to have thick skin. Otherwise, it's going to be all feelings and emotional. And you're going to get into this whole gossip crowd. And, oh, woe is me, victim. No, you know what I train people on is don't be the victim, be the victor. You got to be the victor. You know how to do that. You got to have thick skin right now, especially now.
Yeah.
In the jungle, Rod, this is a true story. Because in the jungle where rhinos are, there's some lions, there's some tigers. They even try to pounce on rhinos and they try to kill them, right? I mean, it's a piece of meat for them. They want to kill them.
Yeah.
But even those big lions and those big tigers, they only have 2.5, 3-inch fangs, even at the front. You know those big boys that are really scary looking? Rhinos have 4-inch thick skin. Takes a lot more than one lion or one tiger to take down a rhino. Number 4 is that, and I love this one, is they have a very long gestation period. So they take very, very good care of their young. So anybody you're around, you got to take really good care of. Whether it's somebody that works with you, for you, around you, a partner of yours, a broker of yours, somebody, a family member, a friend, take care of each other. You got to care about each other. And, the last one, which is so very, very important as well, is that they actually have bad peripheral vision and they focus. And I will tell your viewers, and if we end on this and we can keep on going, I'd love to. You and I could go on for hours.
We can go for a long time.
Rhinos focus.
Yeah.
What you focus on grows. What you focus on grows, good or bad, with your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your children, your business associates, your troubles that you have in your career. If you focus on that, you're going to get more troubles. If you focus on the good and what you can accomplish, that will start growing. What you focus on grows. Rhinos focus harder than you could ever imagine. That is one of the major keys. It's kind of like this. You've heard, don't major on the minors, right? But check yourself, because what are you really worried about? I was on a call at 6:45 this morning, and a beloved individual was talking about an analogy of how you wake up in the morning, you got this backpack on, and it's filled with bricks, and you try to empty the bricks out so that you can enjoy the end of the day. Yeah. Because you wake up and you got things to do, you got worries, you got concerns. And as we walk through that hour of conversation, what if you could wake up and those bricks weren't even there? if you focus strongly on the good and not the bad. I'm not saying ignore the bad. Everybody's got that. I'm not like rose-colored glasses. I'm saying what you focus on will grow, though.
That's right.
It'll take those bricks out. I don't know where we're going to go with the rest of this, but I do want to comment on something you talked about, which was love, serve, and care. I think it's important for the viewers to understand. It's important, especially if you get a license, which you should get a license, by the way. But love, serve, and care is like this. It's not just love, serve, care, because that's just the start of it.
Yeah.
The real statement, because you said that, but man, it's so deep. If you genuinely love others, and genuinely is the key word. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. If you genuinely love, you're going to be loved back. It's that simple. People complicate life. Doesn't matter where you're at. This could be in India. This could be in Guatemala, where I love coffee. It's my favorite coffee, by the way. Guatemala. They grow great beans there, Rod.
Got it. Okay.
It could be in Cabo, wherever you're at. If you love, you will get loved back. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you serve expecting nothing in return, listen to that, expecting nothing in return. If you serve, you're going to have people start serving you. You're going to have people start giving to you. It's a weird thing. And giving, it can mean a lot of different things. But if you start serving, expecting nothing in return, you will be served back. If you genuinely care about people, you're going to get cared about. And Rod, that's what these two men, not just Fred Hightower, but especially my dad and Fred, that's what they taught me. They taught me to love genuinely, care genuinely, serve without expecting anything in return. And you get all that back, man. You know, I do give all glory up once again. And it's just been good, man. It really has been. And I'm excited about the next chapter. We got a lot going on here at Rhinofin Consulting. And I hope this has been helpful, or at least we had one or two nuggets that are great for the viewers.
No, it's been wonderful, man. I tell you, Lincoln, you are one of one, my friend. You know, before you, never met anyone like you. After, have not met anyone like you since. How do people get in contact with you? They want to reach out. They want to find out more about, you know, the ERTC, for example. They want to find out, you know, how to do business with you. Maybe they're in the area, Ohio, Virginia. Well, really, you're nationwide. So how do people reach you?
Yeah. So my website, or actually, let's start with the email address. It's iliketoboogie@gmail.com. So iliketoboogie@gmail. No, you know that's not true. Hey,
no, Ryan's gonna put I like to boogie,
right? You gotta have a little fun. iliketoboogie@gmail. I have no idea who that goes to. So by the way, if you do send something after that, it is not me.
Don't.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Yeah, maybe edit that one out of there, Rod. No, my suggestion is go to rhinofinconsulting.com. There's a lot of info on there. Right now, we're focused in because we only have a year left of the employee retention tax credit. So we're dialed in there, even though we do different things. Remember, what you focus on grows. We want to make sure we finish that strong. There's a contact. You'll get in touch with either my vice president or managing partner, but would love to have people reach out to us, and we'll connect with you within a 24-hour, probably a lot less than that, but 24-hour time frame, and make sure that we connect. And you know, even if Rod, I want to offer this to the viewers, even if it has nothing to do with employee retention tax credit or even insurance, we're at a point where we just like to talk to people and see if we can help them out, guide them, answer questions. We're a consulting firm, but we don't care what we get in return, right? It's about that service. Right. So if you want to reach out, we'd love to hear from you. And maybe it'd be a five-minute conversation. Maybe it'll be a lot longer than that. We're here to serve, and it's a pleasure to do so, genuinely.
Hey, man, listen, I just want you to know I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to come on this platform. So much value in this conversation. Listen, I don't think we're going to edit this at all. I think we're just going to let this whole thing ride, because this is really good. This is a movie's worth, you know, of content. But for those who are listening, you know, I hope that you found some value in this conversation, hearing Lincoln, hearing the story. I mean, so many journeys and experiences. It's much bigger than insurance, but even still, maybe you heard something that will influence and inspire your journey and make you think to yourself, you should get a license. Until the next time, peace.